And welcome back, rugby fans, to Rugby411. As always, I'm your host. My name is Joshua Shibata, and I have the pleasure to bring to the podcast one of our young players of RFCLA. He just hit a milestone with his Major League Rugby career. I'd like to introduce and welcome to the podcast, Robert Mapa. Robert, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello.
Pleasure having you here, Robert. From what I understand, you have a nickname, Maps. Is that correct?
Yeah, everybody call me Maps.
Maps.
Yeah.
Is it just because it rolls off the tongue with your last name, and that's why, or are you like into geography and such?
Yeah, cause guess it's easy to say.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, as I alluded to, you just had your very first Major League Rugby appearance. Unfortunately, wasn't the best of games for RFCLA, but hey, you made it onto the pitch in front of a packed Wallace Annenberg Stadium. How does it feel, Robert, to have your first MLR cap?
Yeah, it feels good. Feels good taking the field, and yeah, just grateful for that opportunity. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about you because you're very, very young. Not a lot compared to, I've been interviewing a lot of your colleagues and teammates, some of them with, decades of experience under their cap. You're relatively young. What most people may not know, you were originally born in Oakland, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And then moved over to Brisbane, Australia. When did you move to Australia?
I moved to Australia when I was like 3.
Okay. All right. So then when you moved to Australia, at that point, do you remember too much about life in California or doing anything? Or is your life pretty much all your memories are being in Australia?
Yeah, my I only like remember like a few snippets back in back here in US. But yeah, most of my memories are back in Australia.
Got it. So born and raised raised pretty much in the Australian culture. So obviously, I'm saying obviously, but not everybody necessarily plays rugby. But I'm assuming, especially with a place like Brisbane, rugby is pretty much prevalent everywhere over there.
Yeah, everyone loves rugby.
So then from there, it pretty much became academic that you'd be picking up the rugby ball and running around on the rugby pitch, right?
Yeah.
So
So
talk about that. How did you start? Where did that start from? Did you start with the school, or did you start in your own backyard? How did it start for you?
actually, after like when we moved, we went to NZ, New Zealand,
Mm-hmm.
and then I grew up there for like 8 years, 8 or 6, and then we came to Melbourne, Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So then, did you pick up the rugby in New Zealand first, then went to Australia, or did you start it in Australia?
No, I started in Australia. I
Oh,
meant
okay.
back in New Zealand.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
we are.
Got it.
Yeah.
So then, what was it about rugby that called to you?
It was my older brother. He was playing rugby, and then
Ah,
yeah, he brought us into it.
got it.
Yeah.
So is he still playing, or any of your brothers still playing?
Just one brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is he still playing rugby, or is he done?
Yeah, he's still playing rugby. He's a year older than me. Right now, he's playing for Life University.
Oh, nice. Life. Got it. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, remind me if Life is still in the college championship or not. But I mean, they were in the college tournament, correct? Life.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
program to be in here in the United States with the university rugby Life.
Yeah.
Very good. So
Yeah.
you get the bug from your brother. Brisbane, I know, is a big rugby powerhouse over there because you have the Queensland Reds, which you end up playing for with their under-19 program. How'd that come about?
Oh, that came from the school rugby. The school rugby, and then yeah, disconnected after school rugby and then went to club rugby, and yeah, they still scout from the club.
Got it. So school rugby, you basically mean from when you're in school, like your elementary, high school, set school rugby, or yeah?
Yeah, high school. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Well, so then you must have been pretty talented if they scouted you from that, no?
Yeah, I was pretty lucky.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So how was the experience then? Because Queensland Reds, if for those who don't know, is a pretty big franchise in Australia. You know, over 100, almost like 150 years of history. Not a lot of sports teams here in the United States have that much history. So how was it to be part of such a big program like the Queensland Reds?
Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing big names, being around big names. Um, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was just. Yeah, it was cool
Yeah,
being a
yeah.
part of a big club like that.
There you go. Now, when you were part of the Queensland's Red under 19, was it already in your mind that rugby is what you were going to do? Or were you still kind of like, well, this is fun for right now, but maybe there's a different path?
Nah, yeah, definitely rugby was. But at that time, I wanted to do for life. Yeah, for a lifetime.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, from what I understand, this is the interesting wrinkle. From Queensland Reds under 19 program, you then ended up in the Melbourne Storm. And the Melbourne Storm, for those who don't know, is actually part of the National Rugby League. So again, let's talk about that, Robert. For fans of those, who are still very new to rugby in itself, not too many people here in America realize that there's actually multiple codes or versions of rugby. Union and league are the two most prominent. The rule set for Major League Rugby, not to confuse people, is union rules, but there is such a thing as league rules, and the National Rugby League follows that, and that's where the Melbourne Storm was. So there are players that play both codes, that code switch or code hop, as people would like to say. Was there any hesitation for you to go to league, or were you already playing both codes?
Uh, yeah, I just wanted to try out league, and yeah, I wouldn't mind switching codes in the future.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, league. Well, okay, let's go back to you. What is it about league that appeals to you, or why did you want to give it a try? Is it just for something different, or is there something about league that kind of appeals to you more than the union rules?
Um, it was more. It was a lot more simple than rugby union.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
How is this more simple? What was it about this simple?
It was only 5 plays, 5 phases,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, just
Right.
hitting
Just
up.
keep running and run into anything before you get stopped, right?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm not the biggest league connoisseur, but league does have phases, as Robert mentioned, very similar to football downs. You actually do have downs, and then after a certain number, I think it's 5, right, Robert? Then the
Yep.
ball automatically turns over to the other side. So very similar to how football has downs, and the football has to turn if you don't score a try or score a touchdown, excuse me, or get a conversion for 10 yards. But so then for league for you, I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, is league or union more popular in Australia right now?
Right now, I'd say it's league.
League, right?
Yeah,
So
league.
interesting. So again, in the future, you see yourself maybe going back to Australia and dabbling a little bit more in league.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, it's. I'm open to the opportunity to take. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's no, I mean I think honestly it's cool that I can see players try just like conversion from 15s to sevens, right? You guys have all sorts of different options to play different types of rugby, but it's still rugby or it's still footy for you guys, just slightly different, right?
Yeah. Just a little different.
Just a little different.
Yeah.
Now, while you were at the Melbourne Storm, all of a sudden, I'm assuming you got a phone call or some sort of connection to come over to Major League Rugby in the United States. Now, before that happened, did you know about Major League Rugby? Where was that on your radar, playing in the States?
Yeah, I never heard of Major League Rugby
Okay,
until yeah, my manager bring it up, and yeah, I was keen to try it out and experience it.
got it.
Yeah.
So was the connection basically then your manager was the one that connected you to Major League Rugby, or did you have to apply? How did that opportunity come about?
Um, yeah. My manager just knew I had a US passport, so it
Mm-hmm.
made it easier for me
Mm-hmm.
to come here.
Right. No visa issues or anything like that then,
Yeah,
right?
no visa.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So was that, let's talk about that a little bit more. Was coming back to, because have you been, I'm assuming you haven't really been back to America since you moved away that often, or have you been back to America before since that time?
No, I never been back here since I
Wow.
was 3. So
Wow. So it's been a while, been a
yeah,
while. So then was that kind of the appeal, was that, hey, maybe I get to go back to where I was born and check things out?
yeah, I do think about that and see my family here.
Okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
you still have family here too.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now,
Mm.
so then was the ultimate goal, because you are born in Oakland, so Northern California,
Yeah.
was the goal to be specifically in LA with the RFCLA, or was the option open to go to any team in Major League Rugby?
Um, yeah, I think to whatever team in the Major League Rugby.
So then you would have been cool if, say, Houston said, "Hey, Robert, you're coming over to Houston." You would have been cool with that.
Yeah, I'll be
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
I'll
okay.
take it.
Okay, okay. But it's just fortunate that it's LA instead. So you get to stick here in Southern California, not too far from, family up in, is family still up in Oakland?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
not,
still
not
have
too
family.
far. Not too far. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't drive up there because it's still a drive, but it's a quick flight up there. Not too bad. So, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Now, so you again, uh, raised in New Zealand, Australia. Now here in California, Southern California, in the United States. How has that switch been over here? How is life living in SoCal?
Yeah, it was good. Um, it's good right now. Not really homesick because I was in boarding school, so I'm used to it being away from
Oh,
the family.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But I, just let me know, because I'm not too familiar with Brisbane or any of the Australian cities. Is LA similar to where you grew up, or is it a little bit different, bigger, less people?
Yeah, it's definitely bigger here.
Got it.
Busy. Yeah, everyone's doing something here in LA.
And that's not too overwhelming for you, or not too weird or too culture shock for you?
No, not really. It's pretty similar back in Australia.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. And I'm assuming you're loving the weather that we're having right now too.
Yeah, love the weather, just waiting for summer right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, hey, well, I don't know how hot your summers get over, or your winters in Australia get, but I mean, man, if I feel, I'm born and raised here in LA all my life, so kind of can predict these things. I think we're gonna be having a pretty hot summer. I don't know the conversion to Celsius, but we might be like triple digits Fahrenheit. Like 100, 105-degree weather. So it's gonna get pretty hot over here. So if you like that, I mean, you'll love it. You'll love it here. Some people that might be a little
Yeah.
too hot. So
No, yeah, I love it.
you love it. That's
Yeah.
great. Now let's talk about now your team with RFCLA. So you weren't too familiar with Major League Rugby. I'm assuming not too familiar with RFCLA as well, because they only been here for 1 year. What was your thoughts when you came here to SoCal and met all your teammates and kind of started learning the process of RFCLA?
Oh, I just had to get back into um how get back into the union
Ah, that's right, because you were doing
system,
league for
the
a while.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is the conditioning different, or is the practices different between a union and a league team?
yeah. Definitely, it is different with league. Really, like the fitness, you have to really be up there.
Mm,
Yeah,
got got it. And I'm assuming because you're saying that league is a little bit more simple, there's a lot more that you have to think about with union when you're playing.
yeah,
Yeah, got it.
yeah.
But I'm assuming you're young and you have a lot of great older veterans. I've mentioned it before, talking to like Andrew Coe, Matt Heaton, Jason Dom. I'm sure a lot of them have helped you, or have they been helping you make that transition over as one of the younger players?
Sorry.
Have the older players been helping you to kind of make that transition and learning all the plays and everything you need for a union?
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. One of the big boys been helping me out. Christian Leilufana helped me
Ah,
out
there
get
you
back
go.
into it.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about Christian, because I'm assuming you knew about Christian before you started playing over here, right? Because Christian's a big name. No?
yeah,
So
yeah.
how
I knew him.
so how cool is that you get to play with a guy with a huge reputation like Christian Lely Fano?
Yeah, it is. It is a it is a like surreal,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, just yeah, blessed to
Yeah,
have someone like him on the team.
that's great. That's
You
great.
know.
Now, let's talk about the moment. Because I've been talking to you while we're at watch parties or you're on the side, and I know you've been waiting to get your chance to play. When you were told that you were going to be on the match day 23, what was going through your head at that point?
Yeah, I was keen
Mm-hmm.
to get on. Yeah, just keen. I was just keen, really keen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to get some game time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when your number came up during the game, I know the Utah game started getting a little bit out of control and everything. But when your number came up, and I'm assuming with the crowd roaring, and I'm your PA announcer, so I'm announcing you, Robert's coming onto the field. What was going through your head, or were you in game mode? Did that all just kind of fade away? Or how did you feel when you stepped onto the pitch?
Um. Yeah, I felt great. Felt good. Just like yeah, yeah. I was just happy.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, I
mm-hmm.
was happy to get on the field.
And then no injuries, nothing coming off of the pitch.
Yeah, no injuries.
Good,
Still fresh. Yep.
good. Because I know that I'm assuming you and the boys know about this. The upcoming schedule is going to get really crazy for RFCLA. You guys have a game against the New England Free Jacks on Tuesday, and then you got to come back to LA for a game on Saturday with San Diego for the Cali Cup. We're calling this Storm Week because we're shoving all these games into a small amount of time. Is there going to be a strategy of when players are going to play, when players are going to rest? I'm assuming this is going to give you a chance to really get to see some minutes onto the pitch, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely is. Yeah. Um. They're giving the older boys a rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they'll give us some time to play. Yeah.
That's exciting. So I'm excited to see you on the pitch because, again, I mean, didn't see a lot of you in the game, but definitely love the energy you had. And just, I think it's still some of that league energy in you just going forward and just,
Yeah.
don't worry about stopping, right? So I love that. Love that. All right. Well, let's talk about a little bit about you and a little bit about your teammates. Outside of rugby, Robert, do you have any other interests or any other hobbies? What do you do on your downtime, or is it all rugby for you?
Um. Like else, like other than rugby.
Yeah, other than rugby.
Other than rugby, oh. go like help out like my family's painting business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Painting as in they paint the paint buildings and paint walls and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Houses, yeah, everything.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah,
great that you take the time to help out with your family business. That's great.
yeah,
Yeah, I know family is very important, especially with Pacific Island countries. It's just everything is about family with you guys, and so I think that's great. I mean, I don't think you get a lot of free time, but the fact that you use that free time to help out your family, I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome, Robert. Let's talk a little bit about your team. Anybody on your team, because you're new to the team, this is your first year, anybody on your team that you've immediately gravitated towards, or like your best buds? Have any teammates that are like that with you right now?
like my best buddy.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I have a few.
Yeah, name them. Name them.
Yeah,
Who are your best buds on the squad?
best bud like Lincoln,
Okay, Lincoln C. Got it.
Maliu.
Oh, Maliu. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Micaiah,
Okay. Yeah.
and yeah, just
Yeah.
just those three.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I heard, and you might want to clarify on this story. On the trip to Fiji, which I'm sure that must have been amazing for you to take a trip over to Fiji for the preseason game where you guys played against Fiji and Drua. You got roomed with Matt Heaton, and Matt said that it was a little awkward at first because of the age gap, but afterwards
Yes.
you guys got really cool together. I mean, you guys had some pretty good conversations to each other. He kind of looks at you as like a younger brother. How's the relationship with you and Matt Heaton? Matt being, one of the more older guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's cool. Yeah. He has a lot of knowledge on him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's cool. He's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't awkward. It was. Yeah, it was pretty cool
Yeah.
being rooming with
Great.
him. Yeah.
Great. Is there anybody on this team that when you first met them, or maybe didn't even say hi to them yet, just saw them, and you were thinking, "Oh, I don't know about this guy," but then when you met him, like completely changed your mind, like, "Hey, this guy's actually a really cool dude." Was there anybody on the team that was like that?
Um. Nah.
No, everyone's
Nah.
cool.
Yeah. Everybody's cool.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. We talk a lot about with the older guys and you being the younger guys, other than like Christian, who I know, again, big veteran mind and somebody that obviously you can learn a lot from. Is there anybody else that has kind of taken you under their wing and kind of giving you some pointers or helped you out?
Other than Christian,
Yeah.
Billy Meeks. Billy
Oh, okay.
Meeks.
Yeah. Billy's a good
Gives
guy.
me gives me a few pointers here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I say yeah, those two.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. That's great. That's great. I always ask this question because I'm always fascinated to get people's opinions on this. When you guys are training, it's a very physical training, and you're no stranger to physicality, especially coming from rugby league as well. But
Yeah.
is there anybody on the squad where when you're holding that tackling pad and they're going to be the one tackling you, is there anybody you're like, oh no, not this guy?
Maybe um damn. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think
No, you're cool with everybody. Everybody that runs you is like, hey, no big deal, no problem.
yeah, I don't think I've been yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think yeah.
No
Nah.
problem, no
Can't
problem.
find one.
Hey, no, I mean you're a tough dude. I'm not surprised. Rugby league is a pretty for me, rugby league, I always think it's a lot more physical because of the nature of that game, right? With the code that you're just running constantly trying to make meters. So, like I said, you're no stranger to physicality. So I wouldn't be surprised that nobody really like, you take a hit, I'm good. So everything's
Yeah.
good with that. All right. So again, coming up, as I mentioned before, we got 2 games in the week. You have the New England game for Tuesday. You have then to come back on Friday for San Diego. What is the mentality of the team facing those 2 games? If you can reveal anything to us, I mean, are we going 100% for both games? Are we trying to maybe save ourselves for one game being more important than the other? Or are we, again, going 100% at both games and just trying to win?
Yeah, we definitely gonna go 100% on both games. Yeah, with some fresh legs with the New England game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll just put some fresh leg. Like from what I see, like there are some fresh legs to run out against New England,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, the bigger names will come. Well, I think they'll come on the Cully Cup game.
For San Diego?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that strategy. I could definitely see that strategy. All
Yeah.
right. Last couple of questions before we wrap this up. Again, thank you, Robert. Been having a great time talking to you for this interview. So, I know you weren't with us in year 1, but right now in year 2, I feel our crowds have been the best they've been since we started. How great is it to see a stadium like Wallace Edinburgh Stadium filled up with fans, and especially like when you came onto the pitch, just cheering? How big is it to have that kind of support here in LA for RFCLA?
Yeah, it's really big. It makes an impact for us boys to to play for our state, pretty much. I mean, yeah, play for LA. Yeah, yeah, it really brings us boys a push.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice. And last thing, again, this is about a podcast and a channel to really introduce the sport of rugby to American fans, American audience that, we're not, rugby isn't something that we're all ingrained with from the start. Rugby is definitely not an American sport right now. So for you, Robert, if someone came up to you and asked you, what's so great about rugby? Why should I care about rugby? What would be your answer to them?
um,
Like, why do you love rugby? What is it about rugby that you love?
yeah, it's a real fun sport to play, and yeah, I just say it's a real fun sport and really physical. If you like watching like physical sports,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
There you go. Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. I like that. I mean, I feel that should appeal to us American fans because we love football, American football. We
yeah.
love seeing people collide with each other, and rugby has all that, no doubt. So, all right. Well, again, Robert, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And congratulations again on your first MLR appearance, the first of many. I know. Let me ask you this too. So you have a couple of players on your squad that have 50 caps. Andrew Coe just got 50 caps.
Yep.
Matt Heaton has 50 caps. Yuri Van Buren's already had 50 a while ago. He's like on 60. And Will Leonard, I believe, is like on 70. So you have all these people that have a lot of. Billy Meeks has over 50. Did any of them come up to you beforehand and kind of talk to you about, your first cap? Or do they inspire you to maybe, I mean, you talked about going to league, but maybe at least doing 50 caps with Major League Rugby before you move back to Australia and do league?
Would any of these 50 caps, I mean, of these boys do league?
Well, no, I'm asking you. Have you maybe given a thought to stay here for at least 50 caps before you make the jump? I think because
Yeah.
50 is a big number, but do you see like you want to do 50 over here?
Yeah, I definitely do want to stay here in the MLR and collect more than 50 caps for
Oh,
sure.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So again, I congratulations on your first. I hope we get to talk again when you get to your 50th. maybe talk when you get to your 100th. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe by that time you're already back in league, and I'd love to talk to you about that because I know I actually have friends here that are huge league fans. They do the Vegas. I know league does a Vegas thing every so often, and they go over there. So maybe someday we could talk about league and get your thoughts on that as well. So, but Robert, thank you very much for joining me here on the podcast for the interview. What is your social media? If you want to shout that out for people to follow you on Instagram.
Social media, Instagram, Robert.Mapa.
There you go. And I'll put that down on the bottom so that people can follow you and give you a follow. And again, Robert, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Good luck with the game with New England. And obviously, I'll see you here in LA for the Cali Cup next Saturday. But Robert, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you, fans, for listening to the podcast. And we'll see you on the pitch.